Welcome south of the border, ladies and gentlemen. Mexico City, Mexico, Estadio Matt Wilson, home of the Mexico City Aztecs, as they play host to the Portland Fleet in this Week 3 matchup of winless teams, and O has got to go here today. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Eric Vinson alongside Alda Bleeker, Justin Reside, Gerald Smith in the stats truck, and Commissioner Executive Producer Extraordinaire Cameron Irvine from SFL HQ. Alden, welcome in, sir. This ought to be a great matchup. Both these teams, as I mentioned, winless thus far. That's going to change today for one of these teams.
Yeah, seasonally a cool evening here in Mexico City, but we've got a hot game on the field, a spicy game, dare I say, between two teams who are really trying to get things back on the mend. Mexico City, quite accustomed to winning. They have not had a single season where they were below 500 since season 6, when they were before they rebranded to Mexico City.
Just a wild stat line. I had to actually double check that through our stats here, and it's just absolutely insane to think about. But that is where we are right now in this new era of the Simulation Football League. It's the Twilight Zone. It's topsy-turvy land. We have no idea what's going to happen on a week-to-week basis, more so than we did before. And man, it's great. I hope it never changes.
The wilder the better. That's how I like my SFL action, for sure.
Mexico City going to get their first crack at the football here to open up the game. And a good return past the 20. Blockers in front, past the 25 to the 27-yard line. And that was by Terrell Cooper, who had himself a nice game just a week ago against the Indianapolis Ramblers. And Jordan Sipe will come out to lead the troops. Sipe coming out under center. Offset single back. 6 in the box for the Fleet on defense. Sipe to throw. Going to air one out over the middle and just outside of the outstretched fingertips of Bill Henry, his tight end. That'll be incomplete. We'll get a look at the offense for the Aztecs. Sipe at quarterback. Phoenix Jones, Ray Bentley, the running backs. Buford Van Dam, the fullback. Jason Bartley, Nick Lockett, and Terrell Cooper, the wide receivers. Bill Henry, Navante Richardson are the tight ends. Sitlabino Ociolotl is the tackle, and Flat-Oani Supremo is the guard. I will get better at those names as we go along. Don't hate me, Ramos. Second down now, single back formation. Trips towards the bottom of the formation as Sipe will throw again. Quick pass, tipped up in the air and incomplete. Lockett got a mid on it, but couldn't quite reel that one in.
Yeah, well, this is one thing we were looking at on offense. Jordan Sipe has shouldered a heavy offensive load for Mexico City so far this season. Third among quarterbacks in terms of passing attempts so far this season with 70. And first 2 plays of the game are the ball in his hands, throwing it downfield.
And now faced with another passing situation, 3rd and long now. 4 wide in the formation. Extra DBs out on the field for the Fleet. Sipe airing it out into coverage. Catch is made. First down yardage for Terrell Cooper, and that'll move the sticks for the Aztecs.
Well, and again, as we say, just as we mentioned that Jordan Sipe has had the 3rd most passing attempts this season, he's also top 10 in most successful completions, 6th in the league with 37. And just another example of how he's able to do it there, just has a core of receivers that are able to go up in the air and grab it. And that makes your job that much easier when you're an SFL quarterback.
See what they do here with fresh set of down splits coming. Handoff goes to Bentley. Good spin move there to get out of traffic. And that'll give them a good chunk of 7 yards on first down as we get a look at the Fleet defense. Robert Brower, Ricky Phillips, Luis Negron, and Jobu McSlim are along the front 4. Mel Davis, Lucas Gilbert, Brody Gulch, and Joseph Lama, the linebackers. Chris Stack, Derek Majors, Leo Morris, and Ryan Cook, the corners. Bernard Smith and Dale McLean are the safeties. As we see another handoff to Bentley, first down yardage again into enemy territory and down past the 50 into the Portland Fleet territory.
Well, the sort of other side of the coin of Jordan Sipe having an increased role this season is that the SFL Hall of Famer and 5-time All-Star Ray Bentley has run significantly less this season than usual. Only 80 yards per season, or only 80 yards this season, and only 10 carries. But so far, a very dynamic attack by Mexico City.
3 of them came a week ago against Indianapolis for 36 yards. As we see another carry here, Bentley getting close to first down yardage again. And it seems that they're going to focus more on the Hall of Famer Ray Bentley in this running game. Haven't seen a whole lot of Phoenix Jones so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and when you have, a Hall of Famer who's so experienced, and we're in this new era that's all about the physicality of the run game. And Ray Bentley has always been a physical runner. So you throw those blocks up front, you can really cause some damage for Mexico City.
Another carry for Bentley, another first down for the Aztecs as they creep towards the 30-yard line. Bentley already surpassed his amount of carries from just a week ago. So already a more prevalent part of the offense for Mexico City.
Yeah, and it's just what we were talking about with the physicality of the run game nowadays, just creating a little alley for him to get through. Only 3 yards, but it's enough to move the sticks.
Fleet showing blitz here on this first down. From about the 33, delayed handoff again to Bentley, who has open space, still on his feet. Burying defenders, he's still on his feet. And missed another tackle inside the 15. Finally gets dropped at about the 12-yard line. That was a huge effort by Ray Bentley to stay on his feet through that play.
That is a Hall of Fame mentality right there. Ray Bentley gets contact here, spins out of it. He doesn't give up the entire time. 3 broken tackles, 4 broken tackles, and even after all being hit 4 times, he's still thinking about the end zone. I mean, that is just veteran poise and veteran leadership. Mexico City firing on all cylinders early in this football game.
Sipe going to give it to Phoenix Jones this time, and Jones will get enough for a first down, and that'll make it a 1st and goal from the 2.
Man, and this is just all-in running game these past few plays for Mexico City, but it's just these blocks up front are creating so much space, and now it's really up to Mexico City how they want to handle this first and very short to go.
I formation, big hefties out there for the offense. Portland trying to him out of the end zone, but Ray Bentley is going to have no issue there as he waltzes into the end zone. Easy touchdown for the Aztecs.
Yeah, absolutely. Ray Bentley just running havoc on the Portland defense, playing physically, staying up on his feet, and demonstrating how he has made himself into an SFL Hall of Fame. This has been a well-called and perhaps even better executed first quarter by Mexico City.
Extra point up and good, courtesy of Chaz Blackwater. And Mexico City now leads by 7, with Ray Bentley getting the brunt of that offensive play call there. 6 carries, 44 yards, and a touchdown, averaging 7 yards a carry already here in the early going.
His first touchdown of the season, we should mention.
Good point as well, and now Portland is going to get their first crack at the football from about the 2-yard line. Returner still on his feet, and that's Scott Johnson, the former Las Vegas Fury member, coming over in the offseason. He'll make it out to the 29-yard line, and Cyrus Jive will take over for the Portland Fleet all 3 seasons here in Portland, and he's got himself a darn good running back as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think really the thing about Cyrus Jive that we have to watch this game is that he really has had time in the pocket. Top 5 in completion percentage this season. That's 4th with 76%, and top 5 least interceptions with only 1. We'll see if he can continue to set up his receivers for success here.
Drive will throw to start things off. Mexico City came in with a blitz and got to him quickly. Short sack on the play there, but a sack nonetheless. And it's going to be 2nd and long.
Well, that's just an instance of that we see every now and then in the SFL, where just the pocket really materializes, but just a little tiny gap that is able to be exploited by the defense. You know, not really a bad job blocking, but just a little bit of space that was blown wide open on the sack.
Dexter Jackson with the sack to start things off, and Jive will throw on 2nd down here. He'll get the yardage back from the sack and a little bit more. It'll be out to Israel Adams, 3rd and long still. Quick coming out of the huddle, 4 wide receivers, 3 bunch towards the top of the formation. Jive, good pocket, gonna air one out, close to the sticks and incomplete. Intended receiver was Adams once again, couldn't reel it in, and that brings up 4th down.
Yeah, it was the right idea. Israel Adams last week, or I should say in the first game of the Portland campaign, had almost 100 yards, 91 yards, and a receiving touchdown. So certainly has been a reliable hand for him to throw to, but they're going to have to punt and hope that they can do a better job stopping Mexico City than they did the first time.
So a 3 and out for Portland. Gives Mexico City the ball back. Jeffrey Daggs, Hall of Famer, with the return. And he'll make it out to the 39-yard line. So good starting field position here for the Aztecs to start things off. If you are new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sidelines and get your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. First down from the 39 for Mexico City. Delayed handoff, Bentley. Plenty of running room up the middle, and he's already into Portland territory. Dragged down near about the 45-yard line of Portland, 1st down.
Man, and Ray Bentley having such a fantastic day. Man, just sneaks by the defense there to run it up the middle. And Mike Daggs called it very early into this game that Ray Bentley was going to have a career day. I mean, he's on track to so far, I would say.
This coaching staff for Mexico City is very confident today. As Sipe is going to throw the ball, quick pass over towards the flat. That's Bentley once again, and he is running with a purpose today. We are seeing a different Ray Bentley out there than we saw the first 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's no shame on the Portland defense, of course, because Ray Bentley, you know, SFL Hall of Famer, 5-time All-Star. These are just the things that someone with this level of experience and skill can do.
Hand off again to Bentley. Good spin move there. Does get the 1st down. Gets about 4 or 5 on the play, but that'll extend the drive once again. Mexico City is just humming on offense so far.
And you know, talking about the mentality of Ray Bentley, I mean, that's really, I think, one of the things where he stands apart, knowing when to just take the chunk yardage to get past the sticks and when to really turn it on and go for big yards. It's really been successful.
Type to throw into traffic, catches made, penalty marker on the field. Catch was made by Bartley. Might be some defensive pass interference. And it looks like that will be the case. Mexico City will take the yardage, and that'll be a fresh set of downs from the Portland 24.
Yeah, and you're gonna see here gets beaten on this little in route. It's a little bit of an early hit. I don't know, that might be a bit of a generous pass interference call, and certainly not going to gain too much yardage here. But perhaps just as importantly for Mexico City is the free 1st down. That is just as important as the yardage.
Bentley with the carry. This time he's limited to only about a couple as Brody Gulch gets in there and makes the stop. Yeah, that penalty was a little suspect. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, we'll call it generous. We'll call it generous to be nice.
Generous.
Yeah, charitable. Charity starts at home. Sometimes I say charity starts in the SFL.
I'll break out the thesaurus next time. Handoff goes to Bentley again. Trouble getting out of the backfield, and he'll only get maybe a half a yard. Good penetration by the front four, led by Negron. That'll bring up third down for Mexico City.
Yeah, uncharacteristic difficulty getting through the middle there. That was, I believe, one of the backup linebackers for Portland really jamming the middle.
3rd and 6, 5 wide. Sipe under center. Sipe to throw, gonna gun it. Near sideline catch is made. Mexico City set up with a 1st and goal, courtesy of Lockett.
And this is just such a pitch and catch. We're going to see it again here. It's such a great job by Lockett. The double coverage just not quite able to get to him. He finds a little bit of space in the middle here, and this is going to set up a 1st and feet to go here. 1st and a little over a yard.
High formation, Van Dam up on the line. Handoff goes to Bentley, hitting the backfield, dives ahead and gets into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And there again, you see it, just the fearlessness of Ray Bentley, not afraid to take contact, not afraid to run into the pack in the middle here. A little bit of a mini hurdle there at the end, but just using sheer physicality to get into the end zone as much as he's been using his speed.
And a great job so far by this Mexico City offense as they go 7 plays, 54 yards to start things off, 2-yard rushing touchdown to cap that off. And then this time around, they've got 5 plays for 55 yards and a rushing touchdown for about 2 yards out. So, or excuse me, 8 plays, I should say. 8 plays, 55 yards for that touchdown. So Ray Bentley is cooking today. Let the man cook.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's one of those situations where, you know, you're finding continued success putting the ball in the hands of Ray Bentley. Just continue to do it until Portland show that they've got an answer for it. You know, they say it's unsportsmanlike to run up the score, but I'd say it's unsportsmanlike to play soft too.
We'll see how Portland responds now, being down 2 scores early on. Only 3 offensive plays run in this first quarter for the Fleet. Handoff goes to Ezekiel Love. He had himself a game in week 1, but a slow start here, only getting 2 yards as Jackson makes the stop.
Yeah, Ezekiel Love, 230 yards in that first game. A loss for Portland, but he was a big focus of the offense for Portland.
Offset eye for the Fleet. Jive to throw. He's going to air it out. Wide open man near the 40-yard line. That's where they'll mark him down. Michael Knight with the catch, and that'll extend the drive for the Fleet.
Yeah, and we're gonna see here just a little bit of a spacing job here. That is number 40 for Mexico City. That is the linebacker John Fowler taking a swipe at that. But a great job by Cyrus Jive to just put the ball past his outstretched hands and into the hands of his receiver.
Pinpoint throw by the 3rd season man, and he is rewarded with a fresh set of downs. Jive will throw again. Good clean pocket. Again, wide open Michael Knight. And he is past the 50 into Mexico City territory, and that's another first down.
Well, this is more what you're hoping for if you're a Portland fan. They really struggled on the first couple drives to kind of find a rhythm, but it does a great job. A little diagonal route that gets transitioned into an out route and just does a great job to get towards the sideline. Liam Ryan, the cornerback for Mexico City, does a good job reacting to prevent the huge play, but Portland are finding their rhythm here.
Inside a minute to go in the opening frame. Jive to throw again. Shuffles in the pocket. Good blocking. Has plenty of time. Fires it. Middle of the field. Incomplete. There were 3 Aztec jerseys, but I think Jeffrey Daggs might have gotten there early. And it is going to be called on Jeffrey Daggs, a killer penalty as that sets him up in the red zone with a first set of downs.
Well, it's as we were saying earlier in this game, Cyrus Jive as a quarterback, one of his big benefits is having these big, bulky offensive line players in front of him. It gives him so much time to make good decisions, and throwing into pass interference there gets him way down the field just as much as a reception.
Love with the pitch play goes virtually nowhere, and we're going to look at those Fleet offensive stars here. Cyrus Jive at quarterback, Ezekiel Love, the running back, Jacob Farmer in the backfield as well at fullback. Israel Adams, Ryan Davis, Michael Knight, Scott Johnson, the wide receivers. Nelson Lozano Jr., the tight end. Jay Warren, Randy Fatt III, the tackles. Tyler Spencer at guard, and Jaden Taylor at center. Another handoff. Straight up the middle goes Love, and again gets maybe a yard out of the deal as Matthew Alvarado is in there to make the stop.
Yeah, and just as we were talking about Portland finding the rhythm, 2 plays that they really struggle to find any space down the middle, and 3rd and long, they're going to have to come up with something deep in the playbook here.
Probably the last play before the end of the quarter. Jive to throw, 3rd down. He's running for it. He's trying to find some room, gets close to the sticks, and they're going to give him the first down. Wow. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, that is very close, and we're going to see it here. Just tucks and runs, a little bit of jiving and dancing. Oh, man, that is close enough that I think he could throw the flag. I guess we'll see when this next quarter starts.
1 quarter in the books, 14-0 in favor of the Aztecs, but the Fleets are in prime position. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music.
No challenge, seemingly.
Everybody, no challenge here. Yeah, absolutely. A bit of a shocker letting that play stand for Mexico City. And a fresh set of downs for Portland here. 1st and goal from just inside the 5. Jive going to throw. Slant pattern. Touchdown.
Nelson Lozano Jr. taking advantage of the field position by Portland. And it's just such a great pitch and catch. Look at this. Runs into the coverage and realizes that he has the physical advantage, disengages, runs into the end zone. A great pass, but a great job of very, very short route running by Nelson Lozano Jr. And that is why he has been such a big part of Portland's offense for 7 seasons now.
Joey Rabb will add the extra point there. 14-7 now the score. And a good job by Cyrus Jive for identifying the matchup. Nelson Lozano Jr. standing at 6'6". Liam Ryan, the cover corner there, standing at 5'11". So a very clear mismatch there in one-on-one coverage. And Jive exploited it to get 7 on the board for the Fleet. Daggs with the return from just inside his own end zone. Good spin move, and he'll make it out to about the 30-yard line. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future.
And Mexico City really looking to fire back on this drive. Portland really were able to, regardless of that positioning downfield, were really able to get back into this game, and they really need to continue and show some confidence.
A stop here would do wonders for the Fleet as they got themselves back in this ball game early on into the 2nd quarter. Sipe to throw. Over the middle, tipped and picked off, going the other way. The linebacker was right there. Mel Davis, who has been in the league for 8 seasons, 7 of them with Portland. He is a mainstay on this defense, and you see why right there.
Yeah, absolutely, for a reason. And this is rarely how we see interceptions happen in the SFL. Tips it up and catches it himself. Usually on interceptions like that, it's tip up in the air and someone else grabs it. But he really great hand-eye coordination all the way on that interception. And Portland are within enemy territory, so they have a chance to fire off a second a second shot in succession here.
Handoff goes to Love right up the middle and stood up just inside the 30-yard line. Mark him down probably near the 28. And we asked that Portland Fleet if they were going to get a stop there. A stop would do them wonders. Instead, they got a turnover. And look at where they're at now.
I mean, that's when you say stop, did you mean an interception on the other side of the field? Because I think that's what they would prefer over a stop 10 times out of 10.
Look, that's an ice cream sundae, and all I wanted was a vanilla cone, so I'm good with it. I formation, 2nd and 6. Pitch play goes to Love right up the middle, and again, good penetration by this Aztec defense. We'll get a look at them quickly here. Ziggly Blaylock, Skylar Kingsley, Bernard Patterson, and Dan Tritz along the front four. Dexter Jackson, Wolf Highwind, John Fowler, and Matthew Alvarado are the linebackers. Gerard Brody, Liam Ryan, Antoine Joe are the corners. Hall of Famer Jeffrey Daggs and Ben Charbs are the safeties. 3rd down, play action for Jive. Gonna gun it over the middle inside the 15. 1st down for Michael Knight.
And again, it was the mismatch in coverage. We're gonna, I believe, see this again here. It was just a great instance of running the coverage past the defense. Look, a corner route past where they're setting up double coverage at the top of the play there, and a great job assessing the situation by Cyrus Jive. Again, we've really been praising his decision making, and he shows it off again.
Inside the SFL red zone, handoff goes to Ezekiel Love. He's got blockers in front and will get a good chunk of 7 yards there. 2nd and 3 coming up for the Fleet.
Ezekiel Love, a piece that has really been a big part of Portland's offense, even in the loss, as we said. 230 yards, averaging 10 yards per carry. That's 2nd best in the league so far.
Bit of a brought back down to earth game so far for him. He's gotten 6 carries for 12 yards. Heavy set, Love with the carry, trying to find the end zone. Spin move gets him in there. Touchdown Portland, and they're 1 extra point away from knotting this up.
Man, and Ezekiel Love has really shown some mental toughness here. It really has had nowhere to go so far in this first half, but again, just chunks by chunks, gets down the field, and again, a fantastic little move to find the space where there was none, and Portland have not given up on this game one bit. This feels like a whole new game almost.
It's just about to be the equivalent of 0-0 with this extra point that is up and good from Joey Rabb. Actual score is 14-14, but you mentioned it, Alden. It is a brand new ball game here with just under 8 to go in the first half.
Yeah, and we saw the fantastic first drive by Mexico City, you know, and Portland have really caught back up to you, but you got to put that out of mind, and you got to do what you did so well at first and continue to do what you've done successfully.
Jags with the return will get close to the 30, marking down at the 28-yard line. 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes of game time here for the for the Portland Fleet to knot up things at 14 with the Mexico City Aztecs. That's that courtesy of Gerald Smith out there in the stat truck for us, and man, it's been a heck of a ball game so far. We were thinking Mexico City was just going to cruise, and man, Portland came clawing back.
Well, and you know, sometimes having that bye week, it gives you an opportunity. It gives you that much more opportunity in the film room. It gives you that much more opportunity on the practice field. And clearly Portland have come up with something for Mexico City. We'll have to see if they can hold on here.
We'll see how Sipe does with the football. Here he's with an interception right to the other linebacker, number 44, Brody Gulch. So 2 picks, 2 linebackers. That's usually not what you see.
No, it is not. It's typically the DBs that you see come up with these plays, and it was the tip and catch, the self dirt ball drill that we saw in that one, just more a case of throwing it right into the linebacker's hands. And Portland in this second quarter really have Mexico on their back foot.
So now again with great field position following a turnover. Got a touchdown off the last one. We'll see what they can do here, but a good stop on first down by Mexico City to start things off. We'll kick it over to SFL HQ for a game break. Commissioner Cameron Irvine, what you got, Cam?
Thank you, Eric. Motor City and Canton going on right now in Detroit. Ibrahim Crieta to Phil Koss after a defensive stalemate in the first half of the quarter. Makes it 7-0 V8s on top of the Classics in the battle for the North. Back to you guys in Mexico.
Thank you, Cam, as Cyrus Judd somehow stayed in bounds there. He stayed in bounds there, Alden?
Yeah, what? I'm just as amazed as you are. I hope we get to see this on replay, because this is a true feat of athleticism here. We're gonna see this here. Just manages across the sideline, gets through, almost lacrosse checks his man down to the ground, and there would have been nothing standing between him and the end zone had that little shove gotten him through.
I'm going to call that the pig leg Pete move, as he just hobbles along that sideline there. Stays in bounds. First and goal for the Fleet. Delayed handoff goes to Love right up the middle, and he'll get inside the 5 just barely. Second and goal coming up here for the Fleet.
Oh, man. And it really feels like Portland has been inside of Mexico's half really most of this quarter. And just again, it really has been the physicality and the determination of Portland so far.
Second and goal. Handoff goes to Love again, churning his legs, gets maybe a half a yard out of the deal, and that'll bring up a pivotal third and goal here.
Yeah, Mexico City need a stop in a big way. I mean, even if they put 3 points on the board, that would at least stop the bleeding and make for a very manageable offensive drive going the other way.
Dive, blitz coming in his face. He's going to go down. Dexter Jackson gets in there for his second sack of the ball game, and that'll set up a field goal attempt for Portland.
Well, Cyrus Jive, as we mentioned, seems to always be unafraid to stand in the pocket and evaluate his options, look down the field. Again, it's just an instance of the tiniest lapse of coverage, and you see that green shirt all the way in the pocket. That is just a fantastic piece of defense by Mexico City.
So we'll see Joey Rabb on the outside hash. We'll see if he can put it through, and he does snake it in for 3 points, and that'll be the lead for the Fleet, 17-14 with 5:38 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, but just as importantly, Mexico City finally getting a stop. It seemed like Portland could do more or less whatever they wanted in Mexico City's half, and so ball security is the name of the game, and I think that starts with putting the ball back in the hands of Ray Bentley, who has had, for the most part, such a magnificent first half. Put the ball in his hands and let him run down the field, and you know, if he fumbles it, that sucks. But man, these 2 interceptions have really got to sting if you're Mexico City.
Yeah, Bentley carrying the ball over about 6.2 yards per carry thus far. And in back-to-back possessions, we've seen Sipe interceptions. We'll see how he responds here. He's going to throw it again into coverage and incomplete. Bill Henry tried to make the catch in between 2 Fleet defenders, but that falls incomplete, thankfully, for Aztec fans this time around.
Yeah, and that's the kind of pass that Mexico City have been able to work to their credit. They've been able to just find the little bit of space in and around double coverage. But yeah, just a bit of a dangerous throw there directly into the double coverage.
And they're going to go 4 wide. Going to throw again. Sipe going to check it down. Getting out of the backfield is Nick Lockett, and he'll get about maybe 4 or 5 yards on the play. It'll set up third and manageable for the Aztecs.
Lockett very, very, very attentive to making sure the ball's in his hands first before he gets running, but the result is that he's a little slow out of the starting blocks there.
Single back is Bentley. Sipe going to run his way. Rolling out, throws it. It's not Lockett again. and he gets close to midfield, but will get a first down for the Aztecs.
And this is the kind of pass that they've been looking for. Lockett has been such a steady target. We're going to see this huge block, 2 of them to maintain the pocket as this follow through happens. And just what we were talking about, just in and around the double coverage, but managing to put the ball in the hands of the receiver around, inside, outside of the double coverage. That's really what Jordan Sipe needs to be doing a little more of when he's passing.
Only 1 catch for 13 yards a week ago. He's got 3 for 46 thus far, as Bentley will get it coming out of the backfield, and he had plenty of space to operate there, Alden, as we've got an injury down.
Oh,
and it
no.
is Ray Bentley.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Oh, my goodness. This is a hold your breath moment for every single Mexico City fan. One of the most explosive parts of their offense here today. He looks like he's walking off the field under his own power, which is certainly a good sign, but we'll give you guys an update as soon as we have one. But that is bad news for Mexico City and their fans.
Bad news indeed, and Mexico City will have to shift their game plan on this 2nd and 2. A good play for 8 yards. Handoff goes to Jones up the middle, and he's dragging defenders to about the 25-yard line. And yeah, 2 weeks in a row, as the chat pointed out, that's the good point there. 2 weeks in a row, we've seen Bentley go down with injury.
Yeah, and I mean, you certainly, I respect Ray Bentley. I don't want to call him, an old man or anything like that. But I mean, when you're in the professional football league for a long time, it really does wear on your body, and those little nagging injuries kind of tend to add up over time.
Stipe, little loft pass, finds Lockett and gets close to the line to gain. It'll be about a yard short as we creep inside of 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And again, it's Lockett. Goes over 50 yards with that pass and well over 50% reception. He's really been one of the more reliable targets for Jordan Sipe here on the day.
Handoff up the middle goes Jones, and he'll get the first down near the 20-yard line. Markham probably down at about the 21. Mexico City moving the chains, and they're doing it bit by bit here, which is probably a good game plan with the half running out.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only from a clock management perspective, but you definitely do not want your backup halfback to also be undergoing injury assessment at the same time as your starter.
Stipe to throw. Fires it. Middle. Henry with the catch. 1st and goal from about the 5-yard line. Gutsy throw and catch there from both the quarterback and the tight end.
Yeah, and that was interesting. At the very top of the play, almost looked like there's a little fake as if he was going to pitch it. Turns back around, though. And again, just exploiting the gap. Portland running these double coverage, man coverage, but really a good job of finding the space by Jordan Sipe and his receivers for that matter.
Hashtag throw it to the tight end is alive and well in Estadio Matt Wilson as Jones gets the carry, and he's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown Mexico City as they retake the lead.
Well, they were dealt a blow with Ray Bentley going down with an injury, but Mexico City showing how they've managed to go since season 6. That is now ongoing 15 seasons without a less than 500 season. And it's the determination and the depth that we're seeing from Mexico City here in this quarter. Fired on by Portland twice. 3 times, I should say, in 3 successive drives, but they put those interceptions out of their mind, and they find a way to get down the field and into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Blackwater, 21-17 your score, as we have under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. And we're going to see a kneel down in the back of the end zone there by Leo Morris. Portland will start off at the 20-yard line. Both teams with all 3 timeouts, so plenty of time to operate for the Fleet to retake the lead. I formation 3 wide for the Fleet to start things off. Dive to throw, shuffles in the pocket, gonna loft one across his body, almost incomplete. He was looking for Ezekiel Love out there, but a good hit jarred the football loose.
Yeah, a good connection, but as you say, just the pressure coming from Mexico City knocking that one loose.
Second down now. Dive, short drop, throws it, tipped a couple times and incomplete. It looked like the first redirection was going to go right to the intended receiver, but it hit again, jarring the football loose. Mexico City's defense coming out to play on this possession.
Yeah, absolutely. And that first tip almost looked like it broke up what would have been a sure completion otherwise.
Instead, Portland is faced with a third down now. Jive with time, trying to find some room. He's going to take off and run. Caught from behind by the defensive lineman, Skylar Kingsley. He will not get the first down, and Mexico City will get another opportunity at the football before the half.
Yeah, and it's a good thing for Mexico City. Not only are they going to be in good field position, but they have what is, well, assuming Portland don't use up the 2-minute warning here, effectively 4 timeouts. And I think that really, really helps you to go into the locker room after having scored. You know, it makes the halftime talk a lot less difficult to figure out.
And setting up shop from your own 48-yard line, just yards away from enemy territory. That's a good recipe for success as well. 2:05 to go, all 3 timeouts. As you mentioned, 2-minute warning as well, effectively a 4th timeout. I'd anticipate maybe a run play here, Alden.
Yeah, I would think definitely keep it on the ground for multiple reasons at this point.
Lock it in motion. Sipe instead is going to throw, has a clean pocket, going to fire it, finds an open man near the 30-yard line is Bill Henry. And that'll be a first down as we hit the 2-minute warning here in Estadio Matt Wilson.
Well, it's Jordan Sipe, almost as if taking that comment as a challenge. And again, it's the corner route between the double coverage. Fantastic catch, but a fantastic read and pass by Jordan Sipe as well.
2 minutes to go here in Mexico City in the first half. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music. Eric Vinson here, Alden Bleeker there, Justin Rezai, Gerald Smith in the stats truck, Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ, giving us game breaks and producing our lovely broadcast today. Phoenix Jones with the carry up the middle, and he's going to get again at 6 as the clock continues to go.
Yeah, and really showing some of that power that Ray Bentley, when he was still on the field, was going for, and getting the clock, getting the yardage and keeping the clock moving, most importantly.
Handoff goes again to Jones. Gets through the first defender, and he's going to get just enough to move the chains and move himself into the SFL red zone for another first down.
Yeah, and it's really been Portland mostly in Mexico City's half of the field, but now Mexico City getting a chance to set up and operate in the red zone.
Both teams, all 3 timeouts. Pitch play goes to Jones, blocking on the outside, buries a defender along the near sideline and gets 5 yards as Mexico City calls their first timeout.
I believe I referenced a lacrosse check earlier, but that was just a clean hockey check there, breaking off another solid 3 or 4 yards. So second and medium set up by just the sheer physicality.
First down from about the 13. Sipe to throw. Pressure coming, and he's going to go down. Could not get rid of the football as Luis Negron gets in there and makes the sack. Mexico City burns their second timeout.
Well, that effectively offsets the run last time. Timeout taken by Mexico City. And it's tricky here. You almost think that you want to run it and take some time off the clock, but maybe you trust Jordan Sipe here.
Five wide, empty set. Sipe under center. Man coverage for the Fleet as Sipe is going to throw low ball, but Henry makes the catch. It's going to be short of the sticks. And it'll be 4th and 1 as they burn their final timeout. 50 seconds remaining here. Actually, it looks like Portland burned their first timeout. Excuse me.
Yeah, and with that one timeout, oh man, you almost wonder if because Portland have to use those 2 timeouts. I mean, there's enough time left. There is a scenario on the table where Mexico City theoretically get this ball back, and I think for that reason, if you're Portland, you got to be very, very smart about how you manage the clock here.
And a good job by the Portland defense to limit that to just 3 points. So a touchdown lead now for Mexico City. Under a minute to go. Portland with 2 timeouts. They've got an opportunity to maybe get a field goal on the board, possibly a touchdown as well to even things up.
And that is the first field goal of the game for Mexico City. They've been much more used to touchdowns this game.
Returned by Morris, and he'll make it out past the 30 to the 31. 41 seconds to go on the clock.
Yeah, and this is all about clock management if you're Portland. You know, you can take some of these medium passes, long passes, excuse me, but you've really got to be careful because I don't think you can run, but I also don't think you want to give Mexico the ball and give them a chance to take a shot or two to get within field goal range. This is a very tricky situation.
Jive sitting at 7 of 10 so far. So he's had an efficient game. Ezekiel Love has been virtually non-existent here today. Does have a touchdown on the board. He will get the pitch play there as he bounces it to the outside. We'll get about 5 or 6 yards. And Portland will burn their second timeout. They'll have 1 remaining.
Yeah, first play run. I almost feel like this has to be a pass play here if you're Portland.
It's definitely a run formation. Now instead, Jive will throw. Throws it into coverage. Catch is made, though, over the defender. Israel Adams with a clutch catch. But he stays in bounds, and Portland has no more timeouts left now.
And but as we said, it's the clock management for Portland. So now they're past the 50 with less than, or I should say, around 30 seconds to go in the half. So there's an opportunity to make something happen here with the hurry up and spiking the ball potentially.
Drive with the play clock at 6. Fires it. First down again. He has been going to Israel Adams quite a bit here, and Mexico City is now going to burn their last timeout. So now no more timeouts on the board. A very interesting call.
Yeah, because I think you want to hold on to that timeout if you're Mexico City, at the very least, to try to ice the kicker here, throw the kicker off his rhythm. They're going to give Portland at least one chance here.
Just a skosh outside of field goal range for Joey Reb. Drive to throw over the middle. Catch is made inside the 30.
Oh, and they're just going to hurry up.
Under 20 to go.
I feel like they should spike it here and go for the long field goal.
Yep, and they're going to spike it. And they've got 3rd and 3 coming up here. Maybe they will go for the long field goal with 15 seconds.
Or you know, it's 3rd down, so I feel like you at least try the long pass, and if that doesn't work out, then you go for the long field goal. But they're going for the long field goal. 46 is long, but it's certainly within the range of most SFL kickers.
Awkward snap. Rab gets it, kicks it. It is through.
Ooh.
With 11 seconds to go. He nails it. So 24-20 now the score. Portland able to get points just before the half.
A breezy evening here in Mexico City, high above sea level, but manages to work with the wind there to curve it right towards the middle of the uprights almost. That's a fantastic kick.
Dags from his own end zone. Going to bring it right up the middle of the field, and he's going to drag defenders to the 27-yard line. 6 seconds to go. Final play probably going to be just a little more than a formality, as both teams are probably ready to hit the locker rooms at this point and regroup.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe even kneel it down. Don't even take the risk of a fumble or interception being returned for points.
Offset back is Jones. Sipe under center. Sipe instead is going to throw. He's going to fire it over the middle, and he's got Henry. First down yardage, but that'll be the end of the half. So a nice, good chunk of yards there to end things. No way to stop the clock, though. We hit halftime. High-scoring game, but a fairly quick first half as well.
Yeah.
As it's 24-20 here in Mexico City, Alden.
Yeah, and this has been a game that has really been hard to predict. I mean, Mexico City, the heavy favorites going into this game, and for a good reason, you would say. And quite frankly, it looked like they were going to follow through on that, with Ray Bentley having a fantastic first half. Unfortunately for Mexico City, going down with an injury, but Portland managed to find their footing in that second quarter after getting there's no really nicer way to put this, getting beat on for that first quarter. And they've managed to keep it close enough that I believe I called this a spicy game in the introduction to this game. I would say we're now gearing up towards an explosive finish in this one.
Well, it's funny, right? You look at it from the first half standpoint. If it wasn't for that sluggish start in the first quarter, Portland might not be down right now. But if it weren't for those two back-to-back picks to Portland linebackers for Jordan Sipe, Portland might not be in it right now.
you know, they say if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, then Portland would be dominating right now. I think that's how that expression goes.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy that for $1. So Portland going to get an opportunity at the football to start the second half. So a great job of the double dip there, getting 3 points. And being down by 4, hoping to add a touchdown to the board, retaking the lead, and a knee will be taken by Scott Johnson. To the 20-yard line we go to start things off. Three wide, 2 split backs for the Fleet. Jive to throw, pump fakes once, still has it. Gonna throw it near sideline into coverage and incomplete. Antoine Joe bat the football away, was looking for the pick.
Well, a quick update. We have not quite gotten an injury update yet, but we saw during the halftime coverage there, Ray Bentley on the sideline. So we'll have to see what his situation is, possibly ready to go on this next Mexico drive. But Portland trying to resume the good things that they were doing in this first half.
Drive to throw, finds an open man in the middle of the field. That's Ryan Davis with his first catch, and that'll extend the drive for Portland. Great job by finding a hole in the zone there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just such a great job setting up the pocket. And that is really the investment that Portland have made in their offense. They now have one, two, three, four contracted offensive line players, and it really allows Cyrus Drive time.
Ezekiel Loves gets absolutely stoned on that play. He's probably wondering what year it is at this point, but he does get about 3 or 4 yards out of it.
Yeah, and just there have been instances in this game where even people that have been having good run performances just struggle to find holes up the middle.
Delayed handoff goes to Love, and Love gets close to the first down marker. They will give it to him on forward progress. Yeah, I'm with you. I thought maybe he was a little bit short there, Alden.
Yeah, it's another instance where in this game, I should say, where Portland have been close enough to the sticks with forward momentum that it's just, you got to give it to him, I guess.
Love off tackle, cuts it back up the middle of the field, and he's met by Jeffrey Daggs after a gain of 6. And largely, Ezekiel Love was held in check in that first half of play by the Mexico City defense.
Right. Well, as we were talking about, this big investment in contracted offensive line players, I mean, it also helps you, running when there's such an emphasis on physicality. And we saw it again there, just great blocks all the way.
Not to be that time, Ezekiel Love gets buried in the backfield by John Fowler and company, and that'll bring up 3rd and 5 now.
And really been kind of hard to predict for Ezekiel Love what's going to happen, because runs well, gets stopped up the middle, and it's going to be a pass here.
Dive, retreating, trying to find some space, sets his feet, fires it into covers, but it's caught! Going into the end zone is going to be Israel Adams. Touchdown, Portland.
How patient was Cyrus Jive, not giving up for a single instant. And Israel Adams had a touchdown in the first game for Portland, and this is just such a fantastic job. Again, exploiting the coverage, using his speed, getting downfield. That is just complete physicality by Portland. They are fighting back in a game where they are the underdogs.
I thought for absolute certain that Gerard Brody was going to jump that route, pick off the pass, and it was going to be a pick 6 going the other way. Instead, we have a 3-point lead for the Portland Fleet as Adams is above 100 yards and has a touchdown grab to boot.
Yeah, that is just spectacular by Portland.
So now Mexico City will get their first crack at the football. Quick drive by the Fleet. Able to get into the end zone, retake the lead as they will take over. Mexico City will take over at the 32-yard line following the return. We'll kick it over to SFL HQ for a game break. Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Cam.
Thank you, Eric. Watch this nifty play. Canton down 4 late in the first half. Motor City going to bring the house. And Scar Patterson, just going to dump it right off to Robert Johnson. Canton leads Motor City 17-14 just before the half. Back to you all in Mexico City.
Thank you, Cam. Eric Vincent here. Alden Bleeker there. Justin Reside and Gerald Smith in the stats truck for us this evening. 27-24 your score. It's been a back-and-forth contest between both of these winless teams. Someone going to come out with a win today. As Sipe will roll out, he sets his feet and fires. That's going to be a first down for Mexico City. Out to Nick Lockett.
And it's Lockett yet again, one of the single most reliable connections for Jordan Sipe on the day, that jumps up from the 50s into the 70s, and an average yards per reception of 14.2. So not only is he connecting with Nick Lockett is picking up significant yardage for Mexico City on these receptions.
Sipe to throw. He's going to throw it to Bray Bentley, who is back in the ball game, much to the joy of Mexico City fans, and he steps out of bounds. That's going to be a new gain there. Yeah,
we saw him up on the sideline during the halftime, so certainly thought it was a possibility, and Mexico City will be very glad to have that dimension of their offense back in the arsenal.
Three wide, single back is Bentley. He's going to get the carry, bounces it off tackle, but a good stop by the Portland Fleet linebackers, led by Mel Davis.
Yeah, and it's been, Mel Davis has been one of the more significant contributors to the defense for Portland, as we saw earlier in this game. Got that great interception where he tipped it up to himself, and continuing to contribute to this Portland defense.
And now the Aztecs are faced with a 3rd and 8. Sipe shuffles in the pocket. Good protection. Going to fire it across his body into coverage, but it's complete. Lockett does the unthinkable. It comes up with that catch against Morris.
And it is Nick Lockett again with a spectacular reception. A great pass by Jordan Sipe. Just reaches up over his defender's head. Are you kidding me, Nick Lockett? Mike Dagg says
that will be our catch of the day. Nice hands catch of the game, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23. As a gain of 4 by Mexico City, and Ray Bentley sets up a 2nd and 6.
I think we would both resign in protest if it was any other catch. That was just a spectacular effort.
And Bentley back in the ball game here. 14 carries, 94 yards for him. He will add to that here. Right up the middle, dragging defenders, and he'll get about maybe 3 or 4. That's going to make it 3rd manageable for the Aztecs.
Yeah, 3rd and very short. I mean, it doesn't seem like that much of a puzzle to me. Ray Bentley back on the field, you know, probably Mexico City not wanting to push him too hard and risk injuring him again, but I feel like it's pretty straightforward. Put the ball in his hands, let him get the yards.
And he's going to get the carry. He gets the yards, and he's still on his feet inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. 1st down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to what we said, and I believe it was the first quarter about Ray Bentley. He knows the difference when to try to put the team on his back and run down the field himself, but sometimes he knows, well, all I got to do is get through the middle here, get these yards, and that's how he's put up 110 rushing yards on the day, even though he was missing for a significant chunk of that 2nd quarter.
He's going to get another one right up the middle, but Mel Davis is there to greet him after a gain of 2. Under 4.5 to go here in the 3rd. Mexico City in the SFL red zone, trying to retake the lead, down by 3. Sipe going to try and take off. He gets slung backwards, and that's going to be a sack for the Portland defense. Big number 57, Luis Negron, gets in there for another sack.
Yeah, and that is really the first time that Jordan Sipe has had to face pressure all day. A great job by his offensive line to protect him, but again, just a little bit of space in the middle. That's really how all these sacks have come today. Just a little bit of space in the middle, but it's wide enough for these defensive line players to exploit.
3rd and long now. Sipe rolling out, sets his feet, shuffles, fires, end zone, incomplete. 2 Portland defenders were out there, Alden. That was another dangerous Jordan Sipe pass, and lucky for him, it hits the turf.
Yeah, absolutely. Does a great job running the route here. Oh, and man, lucky for Portland that the counter route was run so perfectly. But yeah, very, very fortunate for Mexico City that did not turn into an interception.
Leo Morris with the deflection. And that'll put the Mexico City field goal team out on the field, trying to even this game up at 27. 29-yard attempt for Chaz Blackwater. Boots it right down the middle, and it's a tie ball game once again with 3:41 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Man, and both of these teams refusing to give an inch. Again, a very breezy evening here in Mexico City. Even a short field goal like that, a little chip shot, is not a gimme.
We said at the top of the broadcast, both these teams coming in winless, and O has got to go, and both these teams do not want to lose another ball game and stay winless on this young season. As Portland will start things off at the 20-yard line. Now available, free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at goretroid.com, search SFL, and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. Handoff goes to Ezekiel Love, who's been quiet this afternoon, and he'll get a couple of yards there as we have Matthew Alvarado a little bit slow to get up for the Mexico City defense, so a bit of the injury bug biting the Aztec players here today.
Yeah, and they got Ray Bentley back in a decent amount of time, you would say. So hopefully able to get their linebacker back as well, because man, both of these teams are going to need every single inch of advantage they can possibly muster.
And it's been a knockdown, drag-out fight between both of these teams as we're knotted up at 27. 2nd and 6 now for the Fleet. Handoff to Love again. Finds his way out of the backfield, gets into the open field, and past the 35-yard line to about the 36 for a first down.
Yeah, and it's really, as we say, just trying to push and fight your way downfield. I mean, man, and a great job just fighting through all the tackles there. Ezekiel Love only has 57 yards on the day, but that if he can put up more plays like that, that number will jump up exponentially.
Certainly a far cry from his week 1 effort with 230 yards in the stats column for him. But a first set of downs here for Jive as he throws into coverage and incomplete. It was looking for Israel Adams, who's been a popular target for him in this second half, but couldn't quite connect.
Yeah, that was a very risky hit by that Mexico City DB there. I mean, it clearly was not early, but my goodness.
Adams over 100 yards and a touchdown today. Jive setting up in the gun. He's got a back on either side of them. Throws it into coverage. Catch is made. First down yardage for the Fleets as they somehow make it past the line to gain. Michael Knight had a big first quarter, but he's been quiet ever since.
Well, and the Portland, you know, as much as Cyrus Jive has passed really well, quarterback rating in the 150s here so far, it's really been the long averages of the Portland receivers that really is the story. Israel Adams, the wide receiver, 23 yards per reception. Michael Knight, 16 and a half. Ryan Davis, 19 yards per reception.
Delayed handoff to Love gets met by the Mexico City linebackers there. Dexter Jackson and company brings them down after a gain of 4. And you're absolutely right. It's definitely been quantity more than quality necessarily for the Fleet receivers as they're getting a ton of yards through the air. Second and 6. Adams in tight. Jive to throw. Has a clean pocket. Finds Adams over the middle, and that's a first down across the 35 near the 30-yard line.
And it's, again, as we were just talking about, the long, as you say, quality over quantity sometimes is a recipe for success. Again, Israel Adams with a reception that's well over 10 yards, and Portland marching down the field here in a way that Mexico City really were in that first quarter.
Pitch play to Love, trying to get the corner, beats the first defender, beats the second defender, and does not get out of the grip of Dexter Jackson, who's been Mr. Reliable on defense for the Aztecs today.
Yeah, and it's a good run off of the block here. Just has to break this tackle, which really sets up the tackle further down the field for Mexico City. And I believe we
11
saw...
total. Go ahead, Alden.
Oh, I'm sorry. I believe we saw Alvarado back out there for Mexico City, so perhaps just got the wind knocked out of him there.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. That'd be great news for the Aztecs defense, but Love is able to get first down yardage. And it'll be a fresh set of downs as we creep towards the end of the third quarter of play. I was going to say Dexter Jackson has been on fire. He's got 11 total tackles here this afternoon and evening.
And not to mention the 2 sacks.
Agreed, yeah.
Trying to go for a hat trick, you would assume.
Handoff goes to Love. Still churning his feet. Eventually gets brought down after a gain of 7. So certainly not his game by any stretch of the imagination, but still running hard as Ezekiel Love.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, you don't always have to shoulder the entire burden yourself. Sometimes you get downgraded into a role player for the length of a game, and sometimes, you know, clearly Portland hanging in this game, so it hasn't been the worst thing in the world.
And a good response there by Wolf Highwind, just zooming in there and making the stop as Love had trouble getting out of the backfield. No gain, 3rd and 5.
That's the first tackle of the game for Wolf Highwind, but a great job making his presence felt on the first mark on the stat sheet.
Final play of the third quarter possibly as Jive has plenty of time. He's going to fire it into the end zone. Incomplete. Plenty of Mexico City jerseys in the vicinity as the intended receiver was Israel Adams. 3 seconds to go and a 4th down for the Fleet.
Yeah, and it was Jay Warren that set up this block way up the field, but you see number 44 for Mexico City. I believe that is either Dexter Jackson or one of the backups, just making things really tough for Portland. And now Mexico City get a chance to take the lead back in what would be truly emphatic fashion.
So the field goal by Reb is up and through. 3-point lead for Portland as we hit the end of the third quarter. A little chippy field goal and a great drive by the Fleet to retake the lead as we continue this topsy-turvy ball game here south of the border in Mexico City. Get your 4s up in chat. We got one more quarter to go. 30-27 your score in favor of the Portland Fleet. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We will pause for league rights. We'll be right back.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Back in Mexico City, Eric Vincent here, Alden Bleeker there, Justin Preside and Gerald Smith in the stats truck for us this evening for this great contest here south of the border between the Aztecs and the Fleet. Mexico City gets the football to start the fourth quarter, and they will bring it out to the 31-yard line. We will toss it over to SFL HQ once again for a game break. Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Cam.
Thank you, Eric. Canton starts the second half with a 14-play, 80-yard, 5.5-minute drive. Scar Patterson is 11 for 15, 135 yards, a touchdown, kept a clean sheet. Johnson's got 2 scores, and Canton's up by 10. Motor City is driving. Back to you all in Mexico.
Thank you, Cam. And here we saw 3 different scoring drives in that third quarter. Every possession that each team had was a score. And we sit at 30-27 as Sipe will throw it into coverage again, and it's incomplete. How did he not see Ryan Cook sitting there, Alden?
I know. And almost the same mistake where it was thrown directly into his hands. But as is tradition in the SFL, everyone getting their 4s, 86s, and 12s. I think with the 12s, it would be especially appropriate if Jordan Sipe were able to take over and really finish the job for Mexico City.
That's what the Aztec faithful are hoping for as Bentley gets the carry, and he's going to get a few yards on the play. And again, he is slow to get up. Ray Bentley knocked out of the game for a second time.
Oh my goodness. And It's as if the football gods have conspired against Ray Bentley specifically, again walking off the field under his own power, but oh, he's grabbing at his head and neck. That is not what you want to see again. I mean, you never want to see someone injured, but especially one of those head and neck deals.
He's been drinking too much of that Jarritos down there on the sideline there. Too much soda, man. Got to have the water.
Yeah, definitely. Too much sugar will get you cramping up real bad.
So now a 3rd and 6 without their Hall of Famer, Ray Bentley. Sipe, pressure coming from his backside. He's going to throw it and overthrow it. It'll be incomplete, 4th down as the Aztecs go 3 and out.
Yeah, and that is so tough if you're Mexico City. I mean, you still got about 10 minutes to get the ball back in your hands and do something with it. But you really, it becomes a situation where when you're down, every tick of that clock is working against you.
A.L. Barrett will punt it away here for Mexico City. Fielded it at about the 20, past the 30, still churning his feet, and he's going to make it out to the 37-yard line. A good return there by Scott Johnson. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. First and 10 now from the 37 of the Fleet. Portland up by 3, 9:32 to go in regulation. Handoff goes to Zeke Love.
Ooh.
Buries the defender with his ball-carrying hand. You don't want to see that, Alden. Never go for the stiff arm with your ball-carrying hand.
Yeah, I just had my throat drop into my stomach watching that happen. That is a fumble waiting to happen.
Thankfully for him and the Fleet, they retain possession. No gain, 2nd down. Handoff again up the middle, churning his feet, and he'll get maybe a yard on the play. I believe that was Johnson that lined up in the backfield. That's going to be a 3rd and long.
Yeah, and Mexico City would love to get a stop. I mean, aside from the obvious benefits, getting another opportunity to really take control of this game once again.
4 wide, 3rd and 9. Jive to throw. Shuffles. Pressure coming from his backside. He's going to run. Stiff arm and gets buried at the line of scrimmage there. Thankfully able to get up on his own power. That was a big hit that he took.
Yeah, and most importantly for Mexico City, they respond to the quick 3 and out with a quick 3 and out of their own. And it really feels like this one's going to be a seesaw all the way to the finish. Mexico City, 4.5-point favorite, but you wouldn't know it based on how close this game has been.
We got nothing but scoring possessions in the 3rd quarter, and now we've got nothing but scoreless possessions in the final frame, as Portland still holds on to that slim 3-point lead. Mexico City with another crack at the football.
Yeah, overall, it's been since the third minute, down to 3 minutes in the 3rd quarter that we've seen a score, and Mexico City definitely looking to change course.
Bunch receivers towards the top of the formation. Single back is going to be Bentley, I believe. No, it's Phoenix Jones. Sipe is going to roll out. He'll fire it towards the top of the formation.
Ooh.
Catch is made. Near midfield is Lockett. The magician strikes again.
And it is if Nick Lockett didn't already have the safe hands catch of the day, I mean, that there's certainly an argument for that one there. Again, just starts out of the frame there, just full on speed, running past double coverage and gets past 100 yards with that reception.
More importantly, a fresh set of downs for the Aztecs. Sipe is now over 200 yards today, a touchdown and 2 picks. He will throw again over the middle. He throws it right to the Brody Gulch again. Gulch is on the run. 40, 35, 30. Is anyone going to catch him? 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Portland.
the interceptions have haunted Mexico City all day long, and they continue to haunt them. We see once again just a pure physicality play. Number 44, Brody Gulch, the linebacker, and the linebackers of Portland have been all over Jordan Sipe, harassing him, breaking up plays, making interceptions, and making all kinds of nightmares for him. And Portland are taking a 2-score lead here that is threatening to run away with the end of this game. I mean, Mexico City are once again on their back heel.
Pour one out for the LBs in the chat, because man, oh man, not only does Gulch have himself a second interception on the day, he just took that one back for 6 and extends the Portland lead to 10 points. 2 possessions, as you mentioned, it's in danger of getting out of hand here. Sipe has got to get control of this football and stop turning it over, especially to these talented Portland linebackers.
Yeah, and that really is the thing. And man, Mexico City need Ray Bentley back in the worst way, or at the very least, they need to put a higher amount of focus on the rushing game by Phoenix Jones. I mean, Phoenix Jones is not a bad backup option. 47 yards on 7 attempts and a touchdown. So I just don't think you can risk another interception, because that would be a total backbreaker.
Sipe is going to throw. The man has no fear as he throws it into traffic again. Bill Henry, hashtag throw it to the tight end, and gets him a first down.
Well, and that's the other thing too, as you say, the confidence. You know, Jordan Sipe has had trouble with interceptions, but he is not giving up. And I think, you know, the quarterback is such a leadership position that when you give up, it can really make the rest of your offensive unit give up. But he is determined to lead his unit and march down the field here and put Mexico City back on the board where they feel like they belong.
Still plenty of time to go here in the fourth quarter. Just under 7 to go. All 3 timeouts for Mexico City. The deed is not done as Jones buries a defender there. That was Mel Davis that he buried there, by the way, and gets about 5 yards out of the deal.
Yeah, and you know, time is the enemy for Mexico City, but this is a fantastic opportunity for them. You know, we're going to see a Jordan Sipe and I think Phoenix Jones have a fair bit of opportunity to really turn things around for their team here.
Handoff goes to Jones. Jones is going to get the first down and keeps his feet moving before he's brought down by Dale McClain, the strong safety. That'll be another fresh set of downs for the Aztecs.
And it's just a great job of following the blocks there. Buford Van Dam, the fullback for Mexico City, doesn't quite throw the block that you're expecting from him there. But Phoenix Jones has over 50 yards and almost 30 of them coming after hits. So he has some of that physicality that Ray Bentley has been demonstrating all day.
Sipe will throw it this time, throws it to Henry. Maybe a half a yard on the play as the coverage was very good by Chris Stack.
Yeah, 2 feet, you might as well give him a full yard.
Second and 9 now. Just outside the 40-yard line of Portland. Handoff goes to Jones again. Lowering his shoulder and burying a defender. He gets forward progress past the line of gain. First down, Aztecs.
And that is what he's been doing. And it's the great block set up. Buford Van Dam missed that block on the previous run, but does a great job making up for it there. Just more or less knocking that white shirt to the turf there.
Sipe throws it near sideline and incomplete. He's been looking for Henry pretty much the entirety of this drive, as he's been the sure-handed tight end. I mean, why not?
Yeah, hashtag throw it to the tight end. Shout out to Guy Clausen.
As we get a look at Henry's and Sipe's numbers. Stipe will throw again. Sets his feet, throws it to a wide open Bill Henry, and once again, Henry is finding room in this Portland defense to operate, and he's over the century mark today.
Well, last time we saw Jordan Sipe try to use his feet, he scrambled and got hit in what was essentially a sack, but just a great job finding a different eye line there and does a great job setting up the pass to Bill Henry. Nothing more to say besides hashtag throw it to the tight end. Guy Clausen somewhere is just sees that play and just nods his head in approval.
Shoot, Mike Daggs, co-owner for Mexico City, is nodding his head along in approval. Sipe throws it end zone, incomplete, but there is a penalty marker on the play. We'll probably get a first and goal situation here.
And this would be spotted right on the goal line, would it not?
Yep, it'll be spotted at the 1 yard line. Foul occurred in the end zone. First and goal for the Aztecs.
Yeah, first and a graphing calculator to go, going to be the distance to cover. And Phoenix Jones, I feel like you just hand it to Phoenix Jones, block all the way up the middle, and just let him ride that wave into the end zone. I mean, this is such a gift for Mexico City.
It's just what the doctor ordered for the Aztec faithful, trying to get themselves back into this ball game, down by 2 scores. First and goal from the 1. Handoff goes to Jones. Jones dives to the end zone, gets in. Touchdown, Aztecs.
And how appropriate that it is Phoenix Jones who gets this touchdown. Mexico City rising like the Phoenix in the late stages of this game, dives across the line. Mexico City, there's time left to play in this game, and they are going to make Portland ride all the way to the finish if they're going to have a chance to win. This is Mexico City. This is the reason that they have yet to have a season below 500 since season 6. This mentality, not giving up and doing the things that you know you can do well. This is Mexico City at their absolute best.
Down by 3 points. The crowd is electric here in Estadio Matt Wilson, and the Aztecs are feeling themselves down by 3, 4.5 to go, a little over 4.5 to go here in regulation. Their defense looking for a stop here. Returned by Leo Morris, and he's going to bring it out past the 25 to the 28-yard line. More SFL action gets underway tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time when the Minnesota Legend welcome the San Diego Mavericks in a battle of 2 1-1 teams with high expectations. Can Baltimore stop its slide against Louisiana? Their matchup kicks off at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All that and more Sunday evening on SFL YouTube. You don't want to miss it. First down for Portland. Slim 3-point lead. Just under 4.5 to go in regulation. Split backs behind Jive, who's under center. Handoff goes to Love, and he's going to power his way forward for a gain of 5.
Well, and Ezekiel Love has been picking up yards in chunks, excuse me. And, you know, it's very famously in Mexico City difficult to run, you know, thousands of feet above sea level. The Estadio Azteca, famously one of the most difficult stadiums in the world to run in, and perhaps a bit of that playing into Ezekiel Love's run game here this evening.
Love trying to sidestep defenders, gets a little bit of breathing room and gets close to the first down. It'll be 3rd and short coming up.
But again, by the opposite side of that coin, when you're able to pick up yards in chunks, you know, if you go 5 yards, 4 yards, 2 yards, I'm not the best at math, but that's more than enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, by my basic math skills, that would be enough. Love trying to find his way out of the backfield, but Mexico City is going to get that stop. A 3 and out for the Aztecs defense is just what the doctor ordered, and they'll get the football back again with an opportunity to take the lead.
Yeah, and this is the opportunity that Mexico City were looking for, and they're going for it. I have to commend Portland for their bravery. This is such a tough-minded decision.
And Love's going to get the first down and more past the 40-yard line. That takes, well, cojones. And I don't think we've seen that type of brass stones in the SFL thus far.
Yeah, I believe intestinal fortitude, another synonym, speaking of the thesaurus, and that you've got to have that killer instinct in tight games like this down the stretch.
What a call by the Portland offense to keep their offense on the field, as Love will continue to run the football and continue to bleed this clock with a gain of 3.
And even you see the Mexico City players in the chat really lighting up for that play. I mean, just a gutsy call by Portland. I don't think we can state it enough. You know, we don't know at all what the result is going to be, but that's one of those plays that you look back at and is like, man, that was the difference.
Jive is going to throw. He finds a receiver in coverage. That's Lozano, who had a touchdown catch earlier in the ball game. And that'll bring us pretty much to the 2-minute warning, as the Fleet will get another fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and it's a great pass by Cyrus Jive. Quarterback rating of 134, 220 passing yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. If Portland win this game, I think you'd have to say that he has a strong argument for the player of the game.
2 minutes to go here south of the border in Mexico City. Portland with a slim 3-point lead, trying to run out the clock. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music. Eric Vincent and Alden Bleeker in the broadcast booth. Justin Reside and Gerald Smith in the stats truck. Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ, feeding us game breaks as we go along. Ezekiel Love with another carry, trying to burn some more clock. And he will get 2 on the play before Mexico City will burn their first time out.
Yeah, and this is going to come right down to the wire. I've used the word spicy. I've used the word explosive. I think the word instant classic certainly fits the bill for the game that we've seen here so far. We'll have to see how this one concludes.
We have gotten a lot of those thus far as well. Delayed handoff goes to Love. He'll get close to the line to gain before he's spun around and dragged down 8 yards short. Second timeout burned by Mexico City.
Yeah, a very makeable 3rd and short. Man, and Mexico City would love to get a stop here. Ezekiel Love finally getting into the rhythm that he is best known for.
His average just barely above 3 yards a clip, though, so certainly not where he is used to seeing that number. He has been the bell cow for this Fleet offense and will continue to be so. Deep into this 4th quarter, he'll get the carry, churning his legs and gets just enough for the first down, as Mexico City will be forced to burn their last time out.
And that is so, and it's within the 2-minute warning, so they can't even challenge it.
No booth review either. So, man, just a very, very close bang call. And that will pretty much do it as Portland ends up in victory formation.
Well, man, and this has been, I think, as I said, you know, an instant classic. I think I would definitely strongly, full-throatedly call this one of the underdog performances of the season. Mexico City come into this game as 4.5-point underdogs. Both these teams blitzing the over-under of 54.5. But Portland were able to throw Mexico on their back heel in a way that they're really not used to. And even with Ray Bentley, the SFL Hall of Famer, having a good game, it was really the injuries, Ray Bentley being knocked out of the game twice, of course, most notably, but you know, even the injury to their linebacking core, and then Jordan Sipe having a good game overall, 265 passing yards on 16 completions with a touchdown, but those 3 interceptions absolutely killed them.
And including a pick six to Brody Gulch deep in the ball game that got Portland up by 2 scores and pretty much sealed the fate for the Aztecs and the Fleet, as we'll see one more kneel down, and that will just about do it. It was a great game, an instant classic for sure between both of these teams. Mexico City going to fall to 0-3, and Portland evening up at 1-1.
Yeah, I will excitedly look forward to the highlights that we see from this game, because it's going to be one of those highlight reels that's pretty long, and it's one of those things that you can pass along and show people, hey, this is what the SFL is all about, is games like this.
Absolutely. Clock hits 000, whistle is blown. Portland 37, Mexico City 34. As we get a look at those final game stats and highlights, it was really a great game, truly, by both teams, as it was a knockdown, drag-out fight for the majority of this ball game. Like you pointed out, it was one of those things where injuries certainly hurt Mexico City, and the interceptions by Jordan Pipes certainly hurt them as well.
Yeah, and really the pick six, I mean, if you're Mexico City and things go a little differently, and you only have 2 interceptions, but you don't give up the pick six, well then, this game ends, assuming everything else plays out exactly the same. This, you end up coming away with a win as Mexico City in a 34-30 nail biter.
Yeah, if you play the hypothetics game here, right? 17 points off of turnovers. If Jordan Sipe eliminates those interceptions, then yeah, it's probably 34-20 as the final score. Yeah, possibly. You never know. But again, hypothetics.
Yeah, and it really just goes to show that you can never underestimate a defense in the SFL, even if a team's an underdog. Sometimes the trap games happen to absolutely the best of teams, and I think this is a trap game that kind of formed as this game was happening, is how we'll remember this game upon reflection.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. Who's your player of the game, partner?
I have to say it's Cyrus Jive. He was so consistent for this Portland offense, even when they were down and struggling. 285 yards, 13 yards per passing attempt, a final quarterback rating of 141, able to light up all of his receivers. Each of his receivers, with the exception of Scott Johnson, who did not see a target tonight, every single one of them had double digits, around 15 or better. That is just a fantastic performance by Cyrus Jive.
And since you went offense, I will go defense. My player of the game is going to be Brody Gulch. 6 total tackles, 2 interceptions, one of them being the game turner pick six deep into the game, and I believe it was the third quarter. Just a whale of a game for him. You don't see linebackers come away with interceptions all that often, and to come away with a pick six,
especially
put your
those
team up by 2 scores. Yeah, that's big.
Especially those circus acrobatics highlight reels where he just tapped the ball up into the air and caught it himself. That was spectacular.
Yeah, I believe that was probably the Mel Davis interception, I believe. But yeah, Mel Davis with another incredible interception himself, popping it up in the air and snagging that one. Well, on behalf of Alden Bleeker and Justin Reside, along with Gerald Smith in the stats truck, my name is Eric Vincent. Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music. Have a wonderful night.